You might have seen my TikTok talking about some Radahn lore from Elden Ring. I'm really blown away by all the support for people telling me to make more lore videos. So that's what we're going to do today. Today we're going to be talking about Rennala and why her boss fight is so different from all of the other bosses in the game. Just a heads up that this video is going to contain quite a few spoilers about Rennala, the fight itself, and Ranni the Witch, so if you don't want any of that, please click off now. First of all, Rennala, we don't actually fight her during the boss fight, and I know what you're going to say. What about the second phase? We're going to get to that, don't worry. I just want to appreciate how beautiful this whole cinematic, this whole fight is. There's so much symbolism around the concept of birth and pregnancy. When we first lay eyes on Rennala, she's suspended, floating in the air, almost like a fetus in the womb. The way she rubs this glowing amber is like a pregnant woman laying her hand on her stomach. And during this cutscene, Rennala speaks of birthing anew. What does she mean by that? If you read the rune you get at the end of the encounter, it's described as being used to achieve perfect rebirth. Game-wise, this means we can unlock the respecking mechanic, which is essentially our version of rebirth. But lore-wise, if we didn't have this and we attempted to be reborn, we would turn into an imperfect being. Look closely at the beginning of this cutscene. Notice anything strange? Apart from how creepy it is? This lady's irises are split down the middle, a different colour on each side. Her smile isn't quite right, she's only bearing her bottom row of teeth. As the shot pans wide, we can see none of these individuals have any legs at all, they're all crawling around on the ground. As this rune describes, children born of Rennala are all frail and short-lived, imperfect beings each and all. Rennala has spent all this time locked away in the Academy Tower, practicing rebirth over and over again, her creations becoming more twisted and deformed each time. So what's actually inside the Ember? The Church of Vows, a steward tells us,
in the end, Lady Rennala was left alone, cradling the amber egg Lord Radagon bequeathed her. Now she devotes herself to it through forbidden rite, the grim art of reincarnation.
We learn from the Viridian Amber necklace that amber comes from Erdtree's old sap and actually contains a primordial life energy. As Lord Radagon goes on to leave Rennala for another, this is why Rennala is so attached to this egg. It's the last piece of her husband that she has left. So what else is inside? We learn from Gideon that her great rune is actually inside of the egg. This would make sense because when we complete the fight, we're not actually awarded with her great rune, Rennala's great rune, like the other bosses. Therefore, her rune must be inside the amber. Instead, we receive the great rune of the unborn. So who's the unborn? Well, when the cutscene for the second phase begins, a dark fog rises from the amber, and we hear a familiar voice.
Upon my name is Ranni the Witch,
daughter of Rennala. Afterwards, we see the figure of Rennala appear in front of us. This appears to be some sort of protection spell that Ranni has placed to protect her mother and possibly the Ember. So now, when the second phase begins, we're not actually fighting Rennala, we're fighting this clone of her. It's important to distinguish the difference between the real present-day Rennala and this clone. Rennala was known for her talent of lunar magic, but when Lord Radagon left her, she became obsessed with practicing this reincarnation magic. So when we fight her in phase 1, we can see she's not actually attacking us. She barely uses any offensive spells. There are these falling books, chandeliers, candles, but nothing like her former prowess. However, in phase 2, this clone of Rennala is casting, she's unleashing this giant beam of energy, and might add the whole damn moon. Ranni even says, spread the word, my mother is powerful, and don't you dare forget that.
Send word far and wide of the last queen of Caria, Rennala of the full moon, and the majesty of the night she conjureth.
So we know this is a creation of Ranni and not Rennala, because she also summons these various creatures. Who do we know who summons spirits? Who do we know that taught us to summon spirits? Ranni. She gave us the spirit calling bell. So what's different about this boss fight is that we don't actually defeat Rennala, we don't kill her. We just dispel this illusion that was made to protect her. She doesn't seem bothered at all by our presence, probably because she understands that we don't actually want the amber. When we talk to her now, she lets us respec our character if we can provide her with a larval tear. Now, it can't be just me, but tell me what you think this looks like. Maybe a particular organ that only forms during pregnancy? Once again, Rennala is obsessed with this theme of birth and rebirth. She was left heartbroken, shunned by the Academy, and locked away in this tower with only the company of her weird creations. The Lunar Queen, afflicted by lunacy, which means insanity caused by the moon. If you read the description for the Queen's robe after defeating her, it says, when she lost her husband Radagon, her heart went along with him, and then those at the Academy realised that Rennala was no champion after all. I still need to explore some more things with Rani, but this has been really fun to do, so please let me know if you like videos like these, like lore, like symbolism, discussing some of the characters. I'd be really happy to do more. So yeah, thank you so much for watching.